So as you mentioned idioms, so I would love to ask you something like there are a lot of idioms which we use on a daily basis while speaking. So what is your favorite idiom which you usually most of the time while speaking?
So many, of course, there are so many idioms. The my most favorite is piece of cake, which means it is very easy. And another is that burning the midnight oil. It means working very hard because it is associated with me as. Let's start the session. And okay, how are you, sir? How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. How about you, Mr. Abdul?
Yeah, I'm also doing very well. So it is our first interaction. Let's start with the introduction. I would like you to introduce yourself, then I will introduce myself.
So I'm Rajesh Kumar. I'm from Odisha, from eastern part of India, and I do work as a speaking trainer. And I have been working a lot of online platforms, and I help people to learn the language, spoken English, and communication skills. What about you?
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to introducing myself. So, okay, I am Abdul Qadir from Sindh, Pakistan, and currently I am pursuing my bachelor's in English literature, and I'm in my final year, so I'm gonna be graduating very soon. And if I talk about my hobbies, so I like to watch movies, TV shows in my free time, and apart from that, nowadays I'm having these kind of interactions, these sessions to improve my fluency in English. Yeah, that is all about me.
That's really great. Happy to know that you're from literature background. So that is really good.
So are you also from literature background?
No, my field is quite different. Like I have completed my master's in chemistry, but no English communication. These are things which I like a lot. So that's why I'm into this field also.
Yeah, that is very nice actually because literature is nowadays very important in our lives. It is also, as we know, that a mirror of society. So we learn a lot about things that happens in society. So it is very important part of our life, I would say.
Undoubtedly, it is an indispensable part of life when we come to know about the culture and all those artistic things. So it starts with the literature. So you're right.
So, like, how do you know something about literature? Or you have just a basic knowledge about it?
Well, I do have only basic knowledge. I have never got that chance, but still, I do write poetries and all. So I have some exposure regarding that also. But English literature is quite different. We are only focusing on speaking and communication mostly nowadays.
Yeah, and for me, because when I joined my university, I joined this particular field because of English language. I never knew that. I have never, and I had no idea about literature before joining university. I was not familiar with that thing. Neither I have, asked anyone if anyone had any experience regarding this field. So I was completely clueless when I joined this field because, as I told you, that I was passionate about learning English. So because I heard that English literature, so I said, okay, there is a English in it, so let's join this. So after I joined it, I got to know about literature. Then I got to know that it is very important, and now I am happy that I have taken this step, and yeah, I'm happy with my decision.
Yeah, I can see the excitement in your eyes that you're really excited and passionate regarding this subject.
Yeah, not only this subject, but I'm more, yes, I am passionate about it, but the more excitement comes because I'm speaking English, because I love to speak English. And it makes me happy when I connect to different learners. And now it's like a cherry on the cake because you are a teacher. So it kinds of some different kind of a feeling that when you connect to a teacher, because you are going to get a lot of new vocabulary, new ideas, new suggestions regarding your English. So it always feels kind of a pleasure to connect with a teacher. And I was also, I was actually waiting for it, time to, when I connect to you, because it was really excitement for me, I would say.
Okay, that's really nice and happy to know that. And would you like to tell us something bit about your journey? How did you start uploading videos on YouTube and from where you got the inspiration?
Okay, I would definitely tell you. Okay, if I talk about my journey of learning English, as you know that I am an English student, so I am supposed to speak English. But what happens is that when we are speaking English in our classes, we don't focus that much on grammar. Like our teachers pretty much understand what we are trying to speak regarding our course. Where we are not required, because they understand everything, so they don't, tell us to, you are making grammatically wrong sentences, are not. So I think that was not enough for me to speak that in English in my classrooms, because no one was correcting us if we are making grammatically wrong sentences. That's when I thought, let's try to do something to improve English, to improve fluency, as well as when I speak, it would be grammatically correct. Then it would be like 4 or 5 months that I have realized to do this. Then I was also searching on YouTube how to be fluent, and some suggestions basically from the experienced people. They share their knowledge on YouTube. So I was searching on YouTube. Then I come across to these kind of sessions. Then initially I didn't understand what was going on and what is this. Then when I opened the video, then I heard the conversation. Then I got to know, okay, people are trying to have these kind of conversations to improve their English. Then I try to approach them, and it's been 4 or 5 months that I'm having these kind of conversations, not regularly, of course, because I'm also busy with my studies. But I'm trying to have these conversations on alternate days, or 2 or 3 days gap. So this is how the learning journey of mine. And if I talk about how I opened my YouTube channel, what was the motivation? So I would say I didn't have any kind of motivation. But the reason that I opened my YouTube channel, it was like, because I was having with so many tutors, conversation with so many tutors, and it was getting kind of difficult to find my videos on their channel. So I was also having a lot of conversations. So I was also forgetting the names of their channel. And like to find, it was getting difficult to find my own videos, because I was trying to see myself speaking, to find if I'm making any kind of mistake, so I can correct in future. So that was the reason I opened my YouTube channel, so it would be easier for me to access my videos, and I can compare myself from 1 month ago to 1 month now. So I can see what improvement I have brought in my speaking, if there is any improvement in my fluency, and if I'm making grammatical correct or wrong sentences. So this was the reason that I have opened my YouTube channel.
Right, that is a practical way to learn something, because when you speak, you need to rectify at the same time. So when you're recording your videos and you are just revising that thing, it is really a best way, and people should do it. When we suggest that to all those learners, because what happens when we talk about communication, people think that it is only about speaking, but it is not. It is about body language, way of speaking, pace of speaking, expressions are also there. So it is a vast process. So when you're recording yourself and observing, then you'll be able to know a lot of things, the kind of minor mistakes which you're making. So overall, it is really a good idea, whichever you did, and I'm really happy that you people are doing certain things and uploading videos so that other people can also learn from that. So it's really good thing. Keep continuing.
And can I ask you, how did you got to know about these sessions, and how did you got into taking these sessions?
Well, no, I used to conduct online classes. Like I have been part of a lot of online applications also. Even I do have a Telegram group. There I teach to students online. But when it comes to YouTube, I was not that active on YouTube. I upload, but there are certain solo videos which I upload. But when it comes to conversation recording, I was not aware of that. But when I came across videos of you guys, there are a lot of people who are really active nowadays. I guess you can see all those things, so that made me really interesting that this is something people should do, because classes are different thing where we teach grammar and other things, but when it comes to conversation, people find it more connected, that they're taking and talking the real things, and this is really practical. And the live session, it is kind of live session, we can say that whatever coming to our mind, we are expressing our thoughts, and it is really the practical way to learn something. So it made me really inspiring, and then after that I started doing. So yeah, well, it's really going nice.
Yeah, it is. And as you speak, that it is a very how do I say, effective way to learn any language, because it is obviously a way, because nowadays people are like, the people I have come across are complaining that they don't have an environment of speaking English, they don't find any partner. So this is the thing that is giving an environment. We are connecting people virtually, so it is a kind of a practice as well, that we are talking to people. And sometimes, what I like is, I try to speak on some topic, because I try to decide some topic before getting starting the session. So it is very helpful when we have a topic, because we get to search a lot of vocabulary, we get to search a lot of idioms and phrases related to the topic. So it increases our dictionary, I would say. It keeps adding new words, new vocabulary, new idioms in our dictionary. So it is kind of better for us as well, because sometimes we use kind of similar words every time, so it kind of getting bored. But when we have new words, new synonyms, vocabulary, phrases, it kind of make it effective, as well as the person who's talking to you listen to you carefully.
Absolutely. So as you mentioned idioms, so I would love to ask you something like there are a lot of idioms which we use on a daily basis while speaking. So what is your favorite idiom which you usually most of the time while speaking?
uh, like there are so many, of course there are so many idioms. The my most favorite is piece of cake, which means it is very easy. And another is that burning the midnight oil, it means working very hard, because it is associated with me as well. I try to work like study very hard in my exams, or generally as well, because I'm a student, I have to study very hard. And as you know that university students has to study very hard, so it's kind of associated with me. So these two idioms are my favorite, I would say. What about you, sir?
Yes, first of all, I would love to highlight those two idioms which you mentioned that if you are burning the midnight oil, definitely in future it would be a piece of cake or cup of tea. So if someone is hardworking, the task would be really easy for them in future. And when it comes to idiom, my favorite idiom is once in a blue moon because rarely people do use that, but a
I
very
know.
trendy one. And apart from that, I like Herculean task means when a task is very tough to do. For example, learning English within few days is a Herculean task. So that is one thing, and there are a lot of things, but these are few things which we usually use while speaking.
Yes, it is very true. And I also, like to use alternatives of the words. Like recently, I have had a conversation with this tutor. Her name is Neha, and she told me that describe yourself in one word or one sentence that you think of yourself. So I told her that I am a crucial learner. I like to explore. I like to learn about new things. I am crucial about learning things. So she told me that instead of saying crucial learner, you can say I have an inquisitive mind. Inquisitive means is the same thing, crucial learner. So I really like these alternatives or synonyms of the words. It is also very helpful to make your English very effective and stylish, I would say.
I have one word for you, as you mentioned that word. So there is another word when you are really passionate. When you are really passionate to learn something, then you can use another word that is ardent. Ardent. So you can say that Mr. Abdul is an ardent learner when it comes to English and communication. Means he is very passionate regarding learning English and communication. That is
Uh,
also
you
one word.
know, Yes, sir. The funny thing is that I have heard that word ardent, and I have like decided to search its meaning. I never knew the meaning of this word, but I don't know, for some strange reasons I was not getting the time, or I was, something was happening. I was not searching, and I always had that thing in my mind that I would search this word ardent, and I will know the meaning of this word whenever I was, coming across to this word. But somehow I wasn't searching it up, but you just come up this word and gave me the meaning. Now I will remember it.
Another interesting thing how human psychology do work. I'm telling you. For example, if I'm using one word with your example, Mr. Abdul is really diligent, means hardworking. So I gave this compliment to you that Abdul is a diligent person. So I know as I complimented you, so you will remember that word for longer period of time. Or if I'm saying that you are really ardent when it comes to speaking, or you are a mellophile, means music lover. So these are some words when we relate with a person, people find it easy to remember. So the
Yeah.
best way to is relating with people. For example, आपकी मुस्कान, I mean your smile is really beautiful. So I can go with another word like it is really captivating or alluring. It means attractive. So no, these are the words how we can use. The more you will use while talking to people, it will be easy for you to remember. It's all about repetition.
And attracting, there is also another word that came into my mind for the same synonym, I would say, tempting.
Tempting, yes. Tempting is also we use for food and also for looks. When something is really attractive, or we
Yeah,
can say for foods, you know, the biryani is really tempting. You should try
tempting,
that.
yeah. And also when we see money, okay, that money is tempting, so we do say I have seen, I as I mentioned that that is my hobby to watch TV shows and movies, so I mostly watch English TV shows and English movies, so that were tempting. I watched in some movie and there were some robbers, so they were trying to rob a bank and they saw the money, so that robber used that word, that money is tempting, I'm gonna rob it. So that's where I got the word, and I searched on Google to find its meaning, and it has aimed into my mind. Now that you used the word attracting, then it suddenly came into my mind. It popped up in my mind that there is also synonym of this word, tempting.
So that is the best way to learn something. You have to correlate the things and you have to recall what you already know and what you can learn later on. So as you mentioned the word tempting. Tempting is a verb, ing we are using after that. So the base word is temptation. Temptation
Temptation.
is the attraction, akarshan we say in Hindi. So these are the best way, and I love the way you study and learn something. Searching in Google and recalling, it is the best way to learn something. We say active learning. So a lot of
Yeah.
people should do follow the same method, but Mr. Abdul is following, so it's really great.
Yeah, it is very. I would say, like, I would also suggest to everyone, how do I say, mostly to the beginners who are like trying to learn, because that is very helpful for them. I would suggest them to watch movies, TV shows in English with subtitles, because initially when they will watch for the first time, they won't be able to understand their language because they speak very fast, because they are native speakers, so it is bound to happen, they will speak very fast. So they should watch it with subtitles, but slowly and gradually they will they will be able to understand even without subtitles. Like I am, like, I have been watching their shows for like 4 or 5 years now, and I have been watching for with subtitles for 1 year now. It's been more than 2 years or 3 years that I am watching without subtitles, and I am able to understand their words. I am able to understand the no matter how much fast they speak. So it has kind of become my kind of a habitual thing that I can understand them. So it would be really helpful for the beginners. I always suggest them to watch their shows, because they will also see the way they are speaking. Some people also complain that they don't know how to speak, how to react to things. So they will also see, because native speakers are the one that can show them how the body language works, how the facial expression works. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is the point. No, it is really a gradual process. We have to build and develop some habits. Initially, maybe you'll find it is very strange because it is not our native language. We all are non-native speakers. But the moment you start doing that, you will be enjoying the thing. It would become your habit, and you'll find it really easy. So as you mentioned, particularly these are the tips for the beginners. So what we can replace the word beginner with, we can say it is a tips. I mean, these are the tips for the new learners, newbies, or neophytes. So these are some words also which you can replace. And overall, the suggestion which you mentioned, that is really the practical way to learn something. So people should watch and listen and speak. So these are the three ways.
Okay, sir. I just got a message. I can see on my screen that I have some urgent work. I have to go now. But it was really fruitful conversation with you, and thank you for conversing with me. It really feels amazing to converse with a teacher. So I would definitely like to interact with you again in some other day and with some topics, so we can get a new vocabulary as well. So yeah, thank you so much.
Very much, and keep learning and keep sharing the knowledge that you do have. Thank you.